Yo, what's up guys? It's been a while. Just been super busy, so for the last week and a half or maybe 2 weeks now, haven't been pushing out any videos. I've been doing some other videos for other channels and just been busy working on stuff, and I also have other things going on, so I'm gonna try to get back into daily videos this week and for now on, and maybe every few weeks or so I'll take some time off just to keep everything else I'm doing. Alright, so that's a lot of shit no one cares about. You guys want to hear this sound? It's kind of like a Mellow FM8 lead. So one thing I do want to point out is that you'll see that I'm using the chord device in Ableton. So if you're in Logic or Pro Tools or FL Studio, this tutorial pretty much will be useless to you unless you're going to be playing this, which is what I'm doing here with the chord machine. So as you can see, I have this on 7 steps up on the second shift, which means if you're playing a chord, that any note I play, so just look at the keyboard, I'm going to just play let's see, a D right here. You'll see how the device also triggers 7 steps up, which is a fifth from the root note. So you'll see when I play a D, an A note also triggers. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 steps up, that's a fifth, whatever. Okay, so why I'm doing that is because it sounds really cool with this patch. If I turn it off and just play one note, it's really nice, really pretty, it's really mellow, but I wanted to go for more of a guitar amplified sort of sound. So when I play this, it sounds like a guitar, so it's kind of like a guitar mellow thing. So that's the first thing I did. Other than that, I just have a little bit of wow, a little bit of compression, which is just sidechain, and I brought the utility to just bring the width all the way down to mono, so that this lead is right there in the center of the mix, and it's the most interesting thing to listen to at that point. This is it's not really of like a big dirty bass lead or anything. It's just a really nice thing that could really fill in some space on a more mellow track. I just have so much fun playing with that on my keyboard. And okay, now we're in FM8, so there's not a lot going on. So what you'll want to do is go to your file, new sound. That starts you off blank. Let's go master. I just have 12 voices over 3 voices. It's dynamic is on, analog digital all the way down. You can bring up the analog if you want, just to give it more of that like wobbly analog sound. Wow, that actually doesn't sound too bad. I might just leave it there, but you can have it all the way down if you want. And let's see, what else do I got going on over here? Not much. I got a little bit of effects, but I'll show you guys that after we go into the operators tab. So you see that I clicked right here into operators, and what you should probably have is something kind of like F is on and it's going somewhere. So just erase all of those. The way you can do that is by clicking on a square and just dragging, clicking and holding and dragging down, and that will get rid of it. So, or you could just double click. So what we're going to want to do is activate the F by double clicking. We're going to set the ratio up 3, and then we're going to select a PWM ramp mod for our waveform. We're going to invert it. Well, actually, we're just going to turn on all of these, so just go ahead and activate all of these. Velocity is down -41, and we're not doing anything here with the envelope, so let's just forget about that. Now let's go into envelope E. So we're going to bring this, we're going to leave this at 1. We're going to select a sawtooth, and we're going to turn all these on. And velocity is at 43 positive, so get that down. And for D, what we're going to do is just double click on this box and type in 0.5. Oh shit, 0.5. There you go. And that'll give you the ratio of this. And then we're going to select a ramp, PWM ramp mod. And we're going to just turn on the pitch envelope here. And we're going to route F into Z at 100% and E into Z at 100% and D into Z at 18%. And let's go Z now. So let's see, my cutoff is up all the way, reso mode is all the way down. I didn't really touch anything here from what I can see. Let's see, I didn't exactly make this patch yesterday. This is a patch that's been in this track since like 2011. I just recently brought it out on my hard drive, just looking for some old stuff to bring back. And that's why it's called 2013, because I have a different version of this session from every year since 2011. And let's see, so velocity looks like it's brought up all the way. And okay, let's now go to, and make sure that your mix is all the way up, and so is your parallel serial. So serial, there it is. It's not doing a parallel routing. We don't want that. And let's see, let's go to X. So, and Z is going down here into the output at 100%, and then Z is going into X at 100%, and X is our little noise sort of thing. So you can see my cutoff is at 31, amp is at 24, and let's see, if anything else here is different from yours, get that down. The only areas you should be looking at should be this area and the velocity, and my amplitude level is at 42. So that's pretty much it. And this X is going down here at 42, and then E and F are also going down here at 100. So 100, 100, 42, 100. And that's really it, very easy. Now let's go into effects, where I just have a bit of overdrive at 39%, tone at 53, bass at 91, and volume at 81. And for our tube amp, that's at 76% for volume and 31 for drive. And our flanger right here is at the rate of 36. It's I clicked on sync, and let's see, dry wet is at 15%, so it's very subtle there. And make sure that this is up all the way. This is like your dry wet for all the effects that you have going on here with the original signal. And let's see, that's pretty much it for FM8. So I'm guessing you have something like this. And now I'm going to turn on the wow filter. Kind of edges it, smooths out the edges for me a bit. So as you can see, it's just a regular default patch. So if you need to go to your user and click on default, go ahead, or however you get your default sound. And let's see, this is just a band reject. Overdrive is all the way down. This cutoff is sort of underneath 300. Reso's kind of at the second line from the last one, so it's not all the way down. It's almost all the way down. I never turn it up all the way. That's too extreme in most cases. And the mix is sort of around a little bit more than 50, and master is right around there. And that's pretty much it. So let's see, this little side chain, blah blah blah. And this, of course, is the utility, so you'll find that in your plugins with Ableton under audio effects. And it's this one right here, which is great. I throw this on most things towards the end of my mixing stages, just because I like to turn on this little DC filter thing. It's really nice at kind of, well, it does what filters do, and it's a nice little thing to do. And I just brought my width down all the way down to 0, so it's completely mono, so it's completely in the center. If I turn it off, you're gonna hear how that's nice and wide. And if you want a wide sound, then don't even do this step. But if you if you're like me and you're going to use it for sort of a lead, and you might want to have it centered and very mono, then, you know, go ahead and use this. And you guys are probably hearing that reverb and wondering, well, where the hell is that coming from? Well, I do have a bus, or a send, I should say, and I have a send A going into a bass reverb, which is what I called it, but it's not really that. And let's see, let's start with the reverb here. So I just have a basic Ableton stock reverb, and I just have the high cut on, and that's kind of around 6.70 K, so around there. Pre-delay is 100 milliseconds, around there. Let's see, decay time is at 1.84. I didn't touch the diffusion network, and I turned off spin and chorus, and it's up all the way up. The dry wet's up all the way to 100%, and the reason why you would do that is because the way that people are taught to use reverbs is that you're not supposed to throw reverbs onto your tracks, which would be this would be your track, and you're not supposed to have reverbs here for mixing reasons and blah 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 blah. A lot of people do it anyway, especially in EDM, because, you know, it's not being used as a mixing effect, but it's being used as a sound design thing. If you're using it for sound design, it doesn't really matter where you put it, but if you're doing this for mixing reasons, especially for other people, then you might want to do your reverbs through sends. And so the point of sends, oh shit, my phone's ringing. Let me just silent that real quick. Sorry about that. So with sends, it's okay to turn up your reverb all the way to 100%, because what you're using as your dry wet is sort of the return volume of that. So what you'll see with most reverb sends is you'll see that the volume would be all the way down to like negative 20 dB or so, because you're mixing this completely wet signal, and wet means in audio terms like pretty much the percent of the effect. So you would see the wetness, this would be 100% wet, and your original would be 100% dry, and then you mix them in together with your fader. So that's kind of what I did here. Jesus Christ, someone's trying to blow up my phone right now. And I just added a simple delay so I can just wrap this up. And simple delay right here, I have it on 3 sync and 1, and there's the dry wet's at 67%, and the feedback is at 54. So I'm sorry guys, I talked so much, kind of rusty. It just took, you know, I have had no time to do videos in the last week or so, so I'm gonna get back into it. And as for all the requests, I have to go through all my comments and inbox here on YouTube and find those requests. If you still want me to do a request and I might have forgotten about it, really sorry about that. If you really want it that bad, send it to me again, and I promise I will not flake on that. But yeah, now I have to go through like 2 weeks of messages and stuff to find those requests that I need to do. So thanks guys for watching, and I'm gonna have a lot more for you guys coming up, because I'm gonna make up for lost time. So thanks guys.